Hi guys, in this video I will show you guys how to create a Incus container or VM using a storage pool. A storage pool created in a custom location rather than the default location. So let's get started. So if I want to create a storage for in the Incus, what I do is normally I type sudo Incus storage create, then the storage name. So I'm going to create a default storage named temp str. So I need it in the btrfs storage driver. Okay, so now I can see it's got created, but when I check if I check the where it was created, so I have three storage created, 1 2 3 sp1 default and the temp star. So I want to see where temp star is created, which I created now. So I can see it is created in the var lib incus disk path. Okay, this is the default path that Incus will create anytime when you request a new storage pool to be created. So let's visit this path. Okay, so I have disk, devices, databases. So this is where all the disks are created by default for the Incus when you are asked to create a storage. So, and if you create a storage pool, to create a by default location is here. Okay, so the thing is, file is disk. I can see my temp star img is created in here. So if I again type I can see my storage is created. So this is the actual file which store your data, and this is the storage pool which is shown when you see for the storage pools, which is attached to the your containers. The thing is, in Incus you cannot change this default location to any other location. Okay, so there can be situations where your default location or your drive get filled and you cannot use your default location anymore to create resources, storage resources. So in that case, you will require to create the storage device, this storage data file in another location that you have space and attach it to Incus, right? So let's see how you can do that one. So we are not going to in here, we are not going to change the default path. Okay, we are going to create our storage file, this file which we want in a difference location, and attach to a Incus container and boot it up. Okay, so let's get started. So first what you need to do is you need to find go to the location where you will be creating this the image file, physical image file, which actually be used as a storage pool for your container in Incus. So in my home folder, I'm going to have, let's assume my home directory has space. I have attached another device to my home, another hard disk has been attached to my home, and my home has plenty of space. So I'm going to create a new folder in here just to categorize and streamline the work. So I'm going to now cd into Incus, and nothing is there. So first I need to create a file, that will be used as a device for your Incus, right? So I'll be using the Linux command truncate to create a file to a specific size I need. Sudo truncate -s by s we are going to provide the size. So I'm going to provide a size of let's say 5 GB. Then I'm going to give the name as ubuntu-svr.img. So this is the container name which I'm going to create in Incus. So it's better we create a file that will help us to identify what it is which what will be residing in this. Okay, so this doesn't need to be a specified. This name can be anything that you want, but it's easy if you can give you a name that is identifiable. Since I'm going to use this file to create an storage pool that will be used by an Ubuntu container with this name, I'm going to give the file name as this one. So this is just a file. This is just a file in the Linux system that will be used to create a device, loop device. So this is just a file which I created. If you can confirm this by using the command sudo file ubuntu svrimg. So when I type this on, the file command in Linux gives you what type of data is there, what type of container, what type of object is that. So it's just a data, it's just a file. So once this is created, we can use this file to create a loop device. So loop device is a virtual device that you can create and make it behave as a block device. A block device is normally what we call a block device in a hard disk. So by using making this file a loop device, you can make it behave as a block device, virtually behave as a block device that can be used by the Incus. So in order to do that one, what we do is like we give sudo hello setup dash show dash find. When you run the hello setup, you will be creating the loopback device, so that can be used as simulating as a hard disk. So this is what meant by loopback device is just a virtualization mechanism that you can make a file present in your Linux system behave as a virtualized hard disk. So in order to have a storage pool created, you need to give a block hard disk, right? So by using a loop device, you can make a file behave as a hard disk, a block device. Okay, so I just created a loop device. So my device name is dev/loop9. So now it is this Ubuntu svr.img file is behaving as a block device, a hard disk. So what now I need to do is like I need to create the storage pool using this block device. So it's pretty much straightforward. So earlier I showed you how default we create a storage device. So it's basically sudo incus storage create. Then you are going to give a name for the storage pool to be used. So I am going to use the same name. So this is for my easiness. You can give any name here. So just to like identification purpose, I'm going to give the same name ubuntu-svr. Then you are going to give the storage driver that it should be used, btrfs. So there are multiple storage drivers that you can use. You can find them using the documentation. So in here you can see what are the storage drive types supported by Incus: directory, btrs, lvms, efs. So these are all the storage drivers, and you can go to more information from here. So I will put the link to this to also in the description. So now if you just create like this, it will create the disk or the loop back device in the default locations, which is inside the var lib. So if I go here, so if I just put the command earlier, which is the sudo so if I just press enter from here, what will happen is it will create a file in here and make it a loop back, and then create the storage pool inside here. As I showed you, the pointer will be here and the actual file will be here. So I don't need this one. I don't need the file to be created here because I don't have any space, so and it may be a specific reason. So I already have a file created in my Incus location inside the home, and I have created the loopback also. Now I just need to use this loopback and create the storage pool only, right? That means I need to only create the storage pool, only the entry, the pointer. So I'm going to use the command so I'm going to give it as once I press enter, is successfully created. So if I go here, sudo ls var lib incus disk, I can see there's no disk created with this particular name in here in the disk location. But if I go to storage pools and see, I have the the pool created, the pointer created, a pool created by using the customly created loop device and the file which I created in my custom location, which is the Incus location. So it does not use the default disk location, it uses my own location. Now it's successfully completed. Now I'm going to launch a container using this newly created storage pool. Sudo okay, so I made the mistake. Should be this. It's take a little bit of time to create the container. I'll skip forward. Okay, now my container is created. So if I type sudo incus list, I can see my container is running. So I hope you guys understood how to create a file in a custom location and create it. So what happens, small things to say is like, when I create the loopback address, and then if you can remember, I created loopback address but I didn't format it, right? I didn't I just created a virtualized hard disk, but I didn't use mkfs or anything to format it separately. So when I type the Incus storage create, then the name and the storage drive in here, it basically from the backend it formats, it uses the mkfs commands and formats the your loop address to be used by the Incus. So I don't have to manually do it. It basically does by Incus does it for us. It formats using the BTFR system using this command itself, and it mounts the drive to the location itself. So we don't have to manually format and mount it. So both those things are done by the Incus storage create command itself in the backend. So that's how so I was able to I created a file, this one, and I created a loopback. I can use this command to see the loopback device I created. So I created this is the loopback device. So I created this loopback device using this image. So if you guys can see, loop 9 created using home Ubuntu Incus Ubuntu SVR img. This is the path file, and then I used this loop 9 device and created the storage names Ubuntu SVR. So if I type sudo store incus you can see I have the storage created. So if I want to just see whether which loopback or address I'm using, I can type storage show. See, I mean this one I'm using the loopback dev loopback 9. So this one, and dev loopback 9 is using the file I created Ubuntu SVR img. So now you can see how it's linked, right? So this is how we created a container or image using a custom storage pool created in our own location, not in the default location. I hope you guys understood this one. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section, and subscribe to the channel and like this video, and share this video with anyone who may you feel that will help they are in their Incus life. So thank you everyone.